It's another Friday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I love Fridays, Celebrity Fridays. Anyway, our celebrity is actually cancelled today. But anyway, how you guys doing?
Very well, thank you.
Honeypot in the building.
Yo.
Olayemi, how you doing? I love this combo.
Thank you
Is
so
it
much.
South African? Is it Kenyan? Is it Malaysian?
Okay,
What
so
exactly
it is Maasai. You can call it Kenya because this came from Kenya, actually. So you can call it South African too. I mean, I didn't know what to. That's
You
how
know
I
it's
think,
South
like
Africa
in the
too.
night. In the night, I just think, oh, so what do I combine? At the end of the day, I come up with something. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Looks so nice on you with the head tie.
Thank you so much. Thanks to
Can you wear
Joke.
this to church?
Yes, I can.
Wait,
Are you sure?
Your hands showing?
Yes,
Shoulders?
I do it. The other day I went to church. I went for morning service. I couldn't sleep all night, so I went for the 7 o'clock service, and I saw that a woman was looking. Maybe it was me who was thinking that way, but she looked at me from head to toe. She looked at me funnily, and I'm like, I was smiling in my mind. I'm like, I have business with God. If you like, look at me. I mean, did I?
You know, you're endowed, right?
Yes.
So because you're endowed, how do you dress to church? Do you wear boo-boos like this, or are you nicely fitted?
So the thing is, I do not believe in exposing my body unnecessarily, like,
Right,
you
of
know,
course.
cleavage
Of
and
course,
this.
of
I already
course.
have it.
Yeah.
So even if I wear boo-boo, it will still show.
Right.
So what I do is, whatever thing I wear, if you now still think that is exposing some, I don't expose, but if you think that's because it's showing my shape that I've committed sin, it is only God that
I would like to
understands.
go to your church.
And because God understands me,
God created you.
Should I hide it at home?
People like us are looking for cleavage because we don't have.
I can imagine people just staring at honeypot in church. Like, can't she wear something else?
Someone said if I join the ushering department, she would write a petition that I cannot be going up and down the church like that.
Collecting pastor's offering. Don't you dare. Pastor's offering. Auntie, can I help you? Anyways, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm amazing. Thank God it's Friday. At least I'll try to rest tomorrow, not today, because I plan to cook all the things I want to cook today so that I can rest tomorrow. You know, my marriage is weekend marriage. I want to make his favorite soup. He likes seafood okra. So after the show now, branch the market, buy the things I need for it.
A good wife.
I
And
like
just
seafood okra.
just
make some this weekend.
Yeah, very easy to make. Just pepperly him when he comes.
Oh my God.
Because Sunday again, he will leave me and go.
So weekend.
Painful.
So you're doing back to back.
I'm telling you.
I'm telling
you.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
My kids are ready for my door.
Yeah,
To be locked. I'm sending the kids away.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Some people should
like
take a cue
man.
from you.
Yeah, they should.
Like man.
My kids are not going anywhere. My kids are in my house. At least maybe when they're as old as
Your
yours.
husband every day. I don't.
Oh, okay, well,
Let me
nice.
enjoy it now.
Nima,
But that's their dad. You don't let them see their dad.
Elijah Nimat.
I do.
When are you going to Hajj?
This Hajj, I've already started the hair lifting, and I just realized I did not save my money.
I said, Chicken, when
And you didn't make
you
noise.
see how
It's
Nima
all
go
these
to
people
Hajj?
that are calling my phone saying, you people will not send me on the Hajj.
They should
now.
send you now.
But you know
Send
the
him
Hajj,
now.
the Hajj is such a special occasion. It's based on capacity and it calls you.
Okay.
There's a time when the ease just comes and it's easy for you to do. I'd like to go on the Hajj with my husband. It's sooner. My mom went with my dad, so I would like to go on the Hajj with my husband. So until two can go, Hajj will pause.
Don't worry, plan it. The Lord will do it.
Yes.
Just believe.
Don't worry,
Dickiness,
it's to happen. To happen. Anyways, any plans for me this weekend? I'm not really sure I have any. I just want to stay home and
Yeah, just rest.
study, you know? I'm thinking of doing a master's program. You know, when you hear master's now, it's because of Canada. I'm just joking.
Are you?
I'm just joking. But generally, people are doing master's everywhere, and I like to do.
Are you doing because people are doing or because you
I'm
want
doing
to
because
do?
I want to do. I want to get
Okay,
better at
okay.
what I'm doing.
I
I've been doing
think
this for
you
many
should be
years.
targeting a
So,
particular growth.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into the real core journalism. You know, let's do the right thing. Let's do the
fantastic.
right way.
Yeah.
What is our noise making? Let us fine tune it. You know?
Oh, God.
That's the idea. We'll be going back to school very soon in September. You know, just to get more knowledge.
Congratulations.
It's great. I'm excited
We're
about
happy.
that. Let's go on a break. When we come back, it's Friday. We're gisting. Our celebrity gets unfortunately cancelled, but anyways, we're still going to have our paper review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, let's start with the punch. I'm under pressure to release ministerial list, says Buhari. I'll only appoint persons known to me, says President. Lawan denies saying list will be submitted this week. Police arraign 38 Shiites for criminal conspiracy and rioting. Picture here, generator fumes kill couple and 5 children in Rivers State.
I know the year word.
Adeleke family alleges betrayal, rejects 2022 PDP governorship ticket. Ex-governor stopped from stealing 11.5 billion hours to hand over, says EFCC. Nigerian lawmakers, police, judges most corrupt, says Transparency International. National Assembly kicks. Poor Nigerians increased from 86 to 98 million in 10 years, says UNDP. Okorocha's government shunned TSA operated 250 accounts, says Ihidioha. Interesting. All right, let's start with the human interest story, the generator fumes. Who has that
This
story?
family in River State were found in their house dead, and they found the generator, of course, in the kitchen, and they must have died from inhaling the carbon from the generator. We've talked about this over and over, but now I have a different theory. I think the police should start to investigate it all the time that it happens. Okay. It's also possible that they leave the back door open and someone puts the gen there.
Inside, while
so we should start to investigate, because it's just everywhere. I can't believe that a family in 2019 will still put their gen in the
same
kitchen.
thing. I saw the story, I left it.
We should start in the kitchen.
Yes.
In a one-bedroom house.
Hey!
So it's difficult for me to understand. So I'd like it investigated, do an autopsy, investigate, pick fingerprints around the house and see if someone compromised that
First thing we need to do, Nima,
it's just impossible.
get all landlords, make it the law. Generators must, every house must have a generator
outside.
Yeah.
Landlords will make, if not, the landlords will be the one with the call.
Or you lead by the example. My house, the generator is by the road.
Outside,
not just outside. At the first, the extreme end of the compound.
That's
so
how
the
it should be.
fumes
To find a way to.
I have a generator.
Let's take one more story here.
Transparency International.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so they found out that they had a report going on which started from April 26 to May 10, and they sampled 1,600 people to find out that the police, legislature, judiciary are among the most corrupt institutions in Nigeria. So they also... They came up with a lot of things, but there was one that got my attention, that 47% of people who have used the public service have said that they gave bribe to the police in 12 months. So, but Afenifere is supporting them, saying that this is exactly what is happening in Nigeria. But the House of Representatives are saying that they don't have the backing to give that kind of report. So that if they have picked a particular institution to say that this and this is what is happening, then they will find ways to get into that institution and do a proper investigation.
It's not scientifically proven. They don't have scientific method of determining this thing, so they can't even come with those numbers.
But we should know, they should do when they are doing their oversight function, they should try and be transparent enough. All the envelopes flying around.
Move on to The Nation. Revealed Kaduna politician behind Tinubu 2023 items. APC stalwart alleged ambition, souvenirs traced to Dubai. Mago powerful forces frustrating anti-graft war. I'm under pressure on the cabinet list, says Buhari. El Zakzaki, police arraign 38 Shiites. Abdulrazak's results are authentic, says WAEC. And a $1 Dangote dollar reign for Eagles. This Tinubu 2023 items found in Dubai. I mean, it's pretty sad that...
No, this group of people called Ashiwaju something have started campaigning for 2023 on behalf of the former governor of Lagos State.
Ashiwaju Reloaded ambassadors.
Yes. So the APC have investigated and traced the making of those products to Dubai, saying that these people are just trying to heighten the polity on behalf of this man. He is not declared. There's no statement, and they are not his, even if he declares, they're not his appointees who campaign on, or spokesperson to campaign on.
And the ministerial lists, it's almost like it's in all the papers.
Yes. Yeah, I'll take it in the Daily Trust. Okay. El Zakzaki, 38 shares were arrested. Who has that story?
Yes. Okay. So after the protest that happened at the National Assembly, they were able to round up about 40 Shiites members, and they arraigned 38 of them yesterday. And while they were arraigning them, there was still another protest happening in Abuja where they used stones this time around to protest. I think this is becoming a security issue.
And there is an intending protest in Lagos.
In Lagos again. So
they had one yesterday.
We need to seriously...
The Shiites are protesting in Lagos?
Yes, they had one yesterday, yes.
We need to look at a way to resolve this. I know that the federal government considers it a security breach to release El Zakzaki, but then it's now a security issue to keep him. So we should start to consider these people. Because,
okay, let me move on very quickly to Daily Trust. I'm under pressure to constitute cabinet, says our president. Why looted funds are difficult to recover, say EFCC. Why I didn't implement 2014 confab report, says Jonathan. Buhari asked Senate to confirm Mohammed as CJN. Federal government orders 200 wagons, 63 coaches for Lagos Ibadan Rail. NSPMC gets monopoly to print Nigerian passports. And TSA collection hits 10 trillion. Let's talk about the major headline, the cabinet issue.
So the president actually hosted people from the
leadership of the National Assembly.
The leadership of the National Assembly yesterday. It started 8:30 p.m. and ended around 10:30 p.m. And well, they said it's the first time it would be hosting like the whole members, and they've been talking about this. Now the president is talking about being under pressure, and he made a statement that it would only appoint people that he knows. And now people have been reacting to this, saying that it's nepotism, and you shouldn't even talk about people that you know directly.
I don't understand how you can twist his comments exactly. Nepotism. He was saying that in 2015, he had to follow party nominations because hey, he didn't know many people that he had to work with. But now he's going to engage those who he knows and he can actually vouch for.
For me, it's even more difficult. It's even more difficult to accept that the president is really falling hands now. He's letting them abuse us, of those of us who campaign for Amuni Buni kind of thing. You see, you didn't like the people, you didn't know the people you worked with. Some of them were reported and criticized to have been inept at their jobs. And you let them on for 4 years.
4 years.
You didn't change anything. You didn't shuffle, reshuffle, or anything on your cabinet. You can't be stating that now. That shouldn't be delaying the new cabinet now.
Let's say this conversation after we've seen this.
They have come to say we are the poorest, we have increased poorest people now. Please, we need the government to start working.
We need to start working. Why is it that we're still...
That's multi-dimensional poverty index says that we are now 98 million poor people from 86 million people.
We need them.
And we're increasing, holding people down because the states too are not appointing, and we need people to just get to work immediately.
Okay,
so they make up their minds.
Who has the NSPMC
Yes,
story?
I do.
So,
yeah, the Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company has been given the monopoly of production of our e-passports. I'm very happy for them because they had an issue for over how many years? They had an issue because they are the ones that produce our currency. That's why the company is called Mint since 1963. They fell into problems because they had a lot of things to do and we still had to import currency. But over the years, they've been able to stabilize. Now we don't import currency anymore. They've improved in the quality of jobs, employment, and everything. So this is a good one for them. And the CBN governor is rejoicing with them. So I hope that they do a good job.
The Nigerian Tribune, academic qualification, Buhari knows fate today. Dangote Otedela pledged dollar rain for Super Eagles. We must restructure Nigeria to move forward, says Jonathan Adebanjo, others. NNPC clarifies GMD's statement on fuel price. Buhari sends Mohammed's name to Senate for confirmation. Osun 2022, family rejects the adoption of Adeleke as PDP's governorship candidate. Let's talk about which one?
Major headline. So the suit against the president questioning is qualification to contest in the last elections at the appeal court will get judgment today. They've already, reserved judgment for that, and the judgment will be read today. We are waiting to see.
Dangote Otedela, Dangote pledged $50,000 per goal for Sunday for all the team members.
Wow.
And Otedela pledged $25,000 per goal. So we're going to be playing Algeria.
So we're going to be playing Algeria
on
and,
Sunday.
well...
No, we're going to be beating Algeria on Sunday. We're going to be beating...
I really do hope so because they've been doing well. And, before this pledge of this big amount, the other time when they were talking about governors, pledging, and somebody wrote an article that I really found interesting. These people are rich already. Can we just focus on other things?
I agree.
Can we just focus on other things?
Please.
And this is personal money for Otedela and Dangote, but then
it's their money.
It's their money. You can't say that,
But the governors that are pledging, we heard that a few governors are pledging. I can't confirm that, but a few governors.
But then can we just focus on the necessary things?
Some close to home. See, we need motivation across board. But you see, these people, they are already well-to-do. They're international players. So if you motivate them or not, they score, they win, they lose, they go back to their clubs, and they continue to earn foreign currency. No, nobody is saying you can't spend your personal national money. But you see, what we call CSR should actually...
They do that.
Breed new talents and millionaires. Give this money to a young club in Ajegule.
Look at the amateurs.
In River State.
Can we move on? I'm sure Dangote and Tata are doing it.
I think they should put a $50,000 per goal for, what's this club? Eyimba. And see what will turn out. Please.
Move on to Vanguard. Thank you very much. When you have your own money, go and give Eyimba.
I will do that.
Vanguard.
Can't wait.
Shiites clash with police in Abuja, protest in Lagos. Let's take same-sex marriage. Methodist Church Nigeria to pull out of church. Eve ... according to the papers. Invasion of Imo community. Forgive us, herdsmen beg indigenes. Presidency welcomes Trudeau's reports to UK Parliament. Kaduna Assembly rejects commissioner nominee for criticizing Governor El Rufai. And we haven't got Buhari's list, says Senate. Okay, let's talk about this same-sex marriage issue.
Yes.
Okay,
so
You have that, go ahead.
All right. So the church pulling out, and we're talking about this earlier. And, well, BC was like, oh, you were the one saying that we should find our identity. And then I'm like, yes, I really, really support that we should find our identity. So if these people have brought this religion to us and they are adopting same-sex marriage,
What did the paper
and then
say
we
first?
are pulling out.
Let me
Okay,
say
what did the paper say? What did the paper say first?
So
What
the
the paper
Methodist
says.
Church in England is about to sign to approve same-sex marriage.
Okay.
The Methodist Church in Nigeria is saying that you people are the ones that brought this Christianity to us.
Okay.
You are telling us that polygamy is a sin. You are telling us that polyandry is another sin. But then you are allowing this perversion to happen.
Right.
That if it happens, we are going to pull out and there's nothing you can do about it.
Now,
so it's a back and
you.
forth.
Do you agree with the Nigerian church?
Yes, we should pull out now. We should have an identity. If you're going to go back to our own religion or create our own religion, then we should create our religion.
You worship Ifa.
Is it not?
Are you
a God?
let me ask
And
now,
I'm talking
are you ready to
about
worship
God
Ifa?
at the same. We're talking
Ifa
about
is
Answer
God.
my
God.
question. Are you ready to worship Ifa?
Ifa is God.
So now I am not saying that there are so many. I mean, there is just one God that I
Almighty
believe
God,
in,
yes.
Almighty God, and that is the God I worship. But I might not just end up going to.
I'll call him
You are speaking everybody. I can't hear anybody anymore.
There is always a. So, Morari, let me tell you. The thing is, whether you are a Christian, you are a Muslim, you are a traditionalist, if you believe, you can stand to believe that there is God, and then you can worship your God.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, I'm putting you on the spot today. Let's go on. When we come back, we discuss hot topics that have caught attention over social media. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So according to reports, the management of the Polytechnic Ibadan, Oyo State, set ablaze thousands of cell phones seized from students during examination periods. This act, according to school authority, was in a bid to curb examination malpractices. Do you think this was justifiable? Join the conversation 070-8066-8014. You can also tweet to us at TVC. Can I please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets? Okay, so when these pictures came up on social media, everybody went crazy. Some people agreed. Some people said, no, that was totally wrong. And it was wrong for the school to burn personal property. But the school was trying to say, listen, they gave express instructions that don't come to the examination hall with your phones. I think a lot of people agree with the season. Yeah, confiscate. But many people objected, so you confiscate, must you burn? That was really the issue. Let me come to you.
I think the school wants to drive the point home. I've been a student, and I know that students can be stubborn. You tell them don't do this, that is what they want to do. And they don't care. Like, who are you? You're just a lecturer. I'm not here to serve you. Do you understand? Every institution has its rules. The school has given the rules, laid down rules that we are trying to curb malpractice in this institution. We don't want your phones during examinations. But the students brought their phones.
Yeah, but...
So to drive home this point,
why?
so that tomorrow's examination, you will not bring your phone. That's why they did that. I understood perfectly.
Which is good. But you see, there are some incidences where you always assume that every student is a child. There's some students that are actually adults, mothers, married women, fathers who actually have businesses to run. They're there in Polytechnic to get extra classes to get their careers on track. So a mother who has 2 children at home needs that phone to monitor her kids. And she comes in, mistakenly comes in with her phone, and you burn it, seize it. I'm not saying you shouldn't seize it, but must you burn it?
To drive home that point.
May I even come in here? So when I saw this, I'm not saying I do not even subscribe to examination malpractices. But what I'm saying here is that 2 wrongs don't make a right. So when you're trying to correct something, and then at the end of the day, you get blamed for it. So I do not think that burning it is even necessary. I'll come from different angles. Even if you're not going to be returning to them afterwards, why don't you auction and make money out of it? How about auctioning it? Why do you even think that burning it would even solve the situation? Now, let's even talk about environmental hazard, burning electronics. And so you're talking about e-waste, that is electronics waste. And when you look at the health risk from this, emissions. Direct contact with this can even, you can have direct contact with harmful materials like lead. It constitutes the chemicals that goes into, into the soil. You're talking about food, water. At the end of the day, you don't even. So this is supposed to be a school where you get education, and then they don't have education in the first place. This is so pathetic.
That's an interesting angle you took it to.
I rest my case. What I said.
Just sleep.
I'm telling you, I seriously do not have to say anything more. You've more than expressed what I felt. And I wonder how the students in this case now would not understand waste. At least they've learned that their management are wasteful.
But the school said it so pridefully. We are trying, just like you said, try home the point. But you see, you can't. I like the fact that you can't make 2 wrongs can never make a right.
The point has gone on when you seize the phone. Once you seize the phone, the point has gone home. You now have authority to do with it whatever you like. But then, burning a phone does not conform with the methods of destroying the phone. Even the abroad people that do phone, they are sending it down here in second-hand names for us because they don't know how to dispose of this. They don't have environmental protection for their people.
The burning could have been done in the bush. It's not necessarily. It's not necessarily going to be in the environment. The thing for me is, every institution is allowed to have their rules and their regulations. And I'm sure this is not the first time they've been warning these students to stay away, keep your phones away from examination halls. Even right now, we know that people use wristwatches to do examination malpractice. So if you see this action, it will serve as a warning that when they confiscate your phone, you won't get it back, they will burn it. At the end of the day, people will not, understand that Nigerians are naturally stubborn people. It's very difficult to get them to abide to rules. If you don't show examples, they keep going.
I'm not stubborn.
You're just 1 in a million.
Yeah, so the point I'm trying to make is that I think for a school, well, it's good that we have different angles to this. So some people agree with the burning. Others are saying that it was totally unnecessary. Now, as I said earlier, these kids they broke the rules by bringing the phones in the first place. So remember, we're trying to be reformative. The idea is to reform these kids, not to destroy or stop them from even using something that's so totally, completely important to their daily lives. So we're saying we're seizing this phone to drive on the point that it's not allowed for that for me.
Which you have achieved. You achieved
that. But it was wrong for the school, personally. In my opinion. And let me take this call before we round up. Charles, are you there? Let's hear your views on this matter.
Hello.
Morning.
Hello.
Go ahead. You're live,
Hello.
Charles. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something. It's about the university that bans some students' phones. I just wanted to say, does that actually guarantee? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go on.
Guarantee for them to for them to be able to stop malpractice in that school. Burning of the phones does not have anything to do with stopping malpractice. If they wanted to stop malpractice, it's better for you to say anybody that brings the phone to the school, that certain marks will be deducted from the exam. It's even more better. But you going to seize the phone and now burning it, it shows how well you, I don't know what word.
Let's even talk about how innocently someone can mistakenly take
Thank you, Charles.
So a person who wants to do malpractice does not necessarily go to the center with the phone, but a person who is wondering about the security of his phone can mistakenly take his phone to an exam hall. The least that can happen, someone holds on to it, this is valuable, takes it while he writes his exam. But to take it on and burn it does not necessarily prove that he was brought there with intention.
What happens to checking them before they get into the hall?
So you check.
Even back in the day, how did people used to cheat? Did they have telephone then?
Lap. So you bought somebody's lap.
Exactly. So the point is that, but so we were saying it's not about seizing the phones. It goes way beyond seizing your phone. So there are other methods of cheating.
Yes, the way, see, we are in the 21st century. Back in the days, it's the laps, like you mentioned, and writing in the hand. Right now, with your wristwatch and your eye, you can cheat. You can cheat.
What are you writing on the wristwatch?
No, you've not seen wristwatches that you can cheat with.
I don't
Apple
agree.
wristwatches, you can. You can get all the information you need in those wristwatches.
How do you want to read this in an exam situation
When they were writing JAM, they decided that smart wristwatches were not allowed because they could cheat with it.
That's an objective kind of
exam. And these are students.
I'm talking about university exams that usually do not come in objectives. So I wrote exams. I remember all my law courses. You had to write rich legal decisions.
You just need to remember
so they will give you 2 hours for a 4-unit course that you have to answer 4 questions well for you to even get close to it.
You just need to remember the points.
And which points?
Let me tell you how I read.
So
can I tell her how I read?
We have to round up, unfortunately.
I
think I would love to take a few tweets on this.
Okay, let's quickly take
this
because me, I don't agree with Obiajulo on this.
Do you have any for us where I run off?
Exams.
You talking to forget to check tweets.
So sorry.
We carry Wala come today. Okay. I don't agree.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll see if we have some tweets. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So thanks for staying with us. Let's take a few tweets before we go to the next topic. Yes,
Nasir Aliu says, higher institutions are not for children, it's for adults. Even uni and poly has rules. I mean, rules or laws don't hear exam rules. Cardinal says, okay, that one is hailing us for the upcoming. Ovekere says, it was wrong for the school to burn the phones. Seizing it for at most 3 days is allowed, not burning.
Okay.
Ayodeji says, Oyabisi, would that burning stop exam malpractices?
My brother, I don't know.
Okay, let's move on.
Okay.
You have another tweet?
Yes, we have. Luo Authentic says, it's demoralizing to know a citadel of knowledge where you are meant to learn has no knowledge to offer. The point is endangering the public to environmental hazards and also putting such resources which would have worth millions to waste by destroying it. Amina says, saying auctioning is for me not okay. We all know how these phones can be traced. Then the person is accused wrongly of stealing a phone. What then do we do in such cases? Okay,
Bilikis Mafia answered that one. So Nigeria has a way of doing things crudely. This could confiscate it. What points are they trying to prove? Phones are recycled and aren't even supposed to be close to anything volatile. Soil decomposes, but it can't decompose these microchips. It's just ridiculous to burn a phone.
See, that's the thing. That's why I was going to use the word crude. Crude way of doing things. Anyways, let's move on to another topic that caught our attention. Now, Nigerians on social media are reacting over the video which shows Pastor Chris Oyakilome of Christ Embassy saying that husband means master and not just the male partner in the marriage. According to him, wives must not oppose their husband in public, which he says is a sign that they do not recognize the anointing of God's Spirit upon the man. Now, before we watch the clip, even people such as the Federal House of Reps in Oyo State, Mr. Akialabi, said that pastors, especially Oyo should stop preaching heresy. Lots of people have also commented on this comment. Now, we know that this video is not new. It's at least it's been out for a long time. Somebody dug it up, and now everybody is talking about it.
They even shouted. Oh, we're back.
So, as usual, Nigerians went crazy of this comments, and this is it's not a new video, it's an old video. And people are going back and forth, and how can he say that? What's wrong with him? Or others saying, yes, they agree with him that the husband is the master. Now, I would like to hear your thoughts on this, because we need to keep talking to each other, reminding each other what's the way. How do we ensure that we're on the same page as regards how to build a proper, successful marriage? And when you hear people, not just men of God, everybody saying that your husband is the head, you are the neck, he's the house, he's the Lord, you know. This knowledge, do we retain it or do we reinvent it? So that's where, and as I said, it's not a new video, because maybe Pastor Chris might not say that today. He might not say it the way he said it today. He might mean the same thing, but not say it the way he said it then. But in going to watching that video again, what are your thoughts generally?
I don't want to use master. The word master is why I open my mouth.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the head. The Quran says it's the head, the guardian of the woman, the protector of the woman. If you put it like that, it's something I will fall under quickly and submit. But when you say master, my nature, I will question. Master, and am I a slave?
Yeah.
So,
it's a master-slave relationship.
So master-slave
relationship.
Master. The word master, of course, the opposite of it is slavery. Nobody would like to find themselves in that position. Because when you use master, you take away the woman's dignity, thinking ability, every single thing, quality that God has made them with. And God did not discriminate along gender when he blessed us with our intuition, our IQ. So you can actually think by yourself and do everything. Okay. But when the word is the guardian, the protector, the person who stands in front, who provides.
Okay, let me pause you for a quick second, because before people start thinking that we're criticizing men of God, this is not a man of God thing. This is just a man who has spoken about what he feels is the word of God, the definition of the husband-wife relationship. And we need to continue to have this conversation, because many marriages are destroyed because of people agreeing or disagreeing with this concept. So it's important that we keep having this conversation. Let me come to Honeypot. What are your thoughts on this?
So when he started and he talked about at the meeting, you're opposing your husband, is that where you should oppose your husband and all that? So I know that there are ways of doing things, and you're not bringing your partner down, you're not disgracing your partner. But then it does not mean that because your husband supports a particular football club, is my husband, even if you don't like it, I have to support. You are a human being. You have what you like. And I think it is that ability to understand people, to live with them, to understand their differences that actually, makes the world beautiful at the end of the day, because, I mean, having different people, having different types of people. So now, when he now said master, now you said something before you even started asking the question, maybe it is not, maybe you used the wrong word or it came out the wrong way. So the master, as Nima said, sounds like, you are a slave. Yes. So if you ask me if the husband is, okay, Lord. We talked about Lord in the Bible.
Is your husband Lord?
The husband is the Lord. The husband is the head.
Your husband your Lord?
Yes, and the head.
If you use the meaning of Lord.
I'm asking Honeypot now.
Yes.
Okay.
Mariah, yes.
Okay. We'll come back to that. But there's a point I wanted to make while you were talking. I remember something. When I wasn't married then. I have this uncle that he's one of those uncles that, gra uncle. But I love his wife. His wife was very calm, very nice woman. In fact, she's a justice today. And there was a conversation going on in the living room that day. And the man said something that, when I say there's any word like wrong guest, like he said the worst thing, the most damning thing he said in that living room. We all knew he was wrong. And his wife agreed, who I knew, she knew better than what her husband said was wrong.
And she agreed.
But right there, she agreed with him. And I was shocked. I looked at her and said, Auntie, but she said, yes, I agree with him. But I called her separately after. I said, did you really, really agree with Uncle? He said, when you get married, you understand my response. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no. She just said, when you get married.
She had to protect her husband.
So when I got married, indeed, and when my husband started doing gra, And I was always doing, what is it? You know, go head to head. I was saying my own, you say my own. And I remember that, auntie. Okay, yes, you know, yes, your own view might be right. But first of all, accept first, especially when people are there. When people are there, accept. He might be saying, this thing he's saying is black. We know it's black, Abi. This one is insisting it's red. Telling everybody this thing is red. Can't you see it's red? And you're all saying it's black. You, his wife, wisdom.
It's profitable.
It's actually, it could be red, though. You know what? Maybe it's actually red.
That's the difference.
Hey,
you see me?
Please,
wait, let me let him
Hold on.
Okay.
This thing is red. Our husband is this white cup is red. This husband is.
Let's talk about the black. Yes, it's black.
Okay, let's say it's black. And a black cup is calling it black. A white cup is calling it black. Like, you think this cup is black? Say yes, it's black. It is. It's black. You think so?
Okay. Drop it.
You won't say anything.
So you have not
That's
said
my
my-
You're not agreeing.
Yes.
No,
Very
there's a
good.
rule in my house. I say it all the time. You don't want to hear it doesn't mean I don't think it. So you know, once I keep quiet, my husband knows I just said to him, that cup is white. Are you
Yes,
blind?
so-
Okay.
So can you talk about
you.
it later? Then can you talk about it
Let me
later?
Me, I
come
will
to
not
you.
call you what is not.
Obiaji, let me come to you. In your own view, your husband is insisting this is red.
Outside.
Outside.
the
In fact, I'm
house.
talking about this is in front of
in the
people.
public place.
In a public place.
Yes.
He's saying this is red. What would you say?
Whew, I'll keep quiet.
Thank you.
That's what I do when we disagree, because we actually argue a lot. And our views most times are very different. In fact, if you hear us argue, you think we're fighting, we're quarreling. His voice is loud, my voice is loud, so we'll just be having it. So when he's insisting on something, and he's very passionate, so he could be insisting and feeling, yeah, you're not getting me, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm like, okay.
Now, you see,
I won't say anything.
I'll respond to that, but let me take Moses. Moses has been holding for a second. Moses, are you there? Hello, Moses.
Samson is the
Thanks for calling. Go ahead. Oh,
Samson.
Samson, I do apologize. Go ahead, please.
Welcome.
Samson from Jalingo, Taraba.
Wow.
Wow, you're
welcome to the show, sir.
Hello?
You're live, Samson. We've been waiting for you. Go ahead, please.
The name they're writing Moses there is Samson.
He's been corrected.
He's
I want
listening
to-
to the TV.
I want to, will you allow me talk on the first topic?
Okay.
Go
I
ahead.
should talk on the first topic
Yes,
before
sir.
I talk on this one.
Okay, sir. He's
Okay?
listening to the TV.
On the first topic, I have been a lecturer. If you know what students do, you have a divine patience to lecture as a lecturer. If you go by behaviors of students, I'm sorry to use this word, you may be tempted to pick a gun one day and shoot a student. The way students behave, they literally sometimes try beating up lecturers. If a school says, don't enter exam hall with your handset, you have no reason. And if burning the handset could cause environmental hazard, that means we should stop NAFDAC from burning seized items. We should stop customs from burning items seized from smugglers. That is by the way. Then coming to the issue of masters, what Pastor Chris Oyachilomi said, I am not a member of his church and I'm not holding praise for him. What he said, you must understand it from the spiritual perspective. If you give it carnal understanding, you will not understand it.
You'll be lost.
Sarah called Abraham
Lord,
Lord.
I have it here.
In your opinion, Lord and Master, which one is stronger? Sarah, till she died, she called her husband Abraham Lord. You must understand it from the spiritual aspect. And another thing, a woman loses nothing by calling her husband Master. She gains a lot. We men are like this. If you want to use force on a man, you will not get your way.
Yes, so
If you pretend and submit yourself, you will have your man like a toy in your hand.
hi, uncle.
Naturally, that is how men are. You see, God created women very
All right.
soft.
Thank you very much,
Hey, uncle, I
Mr.
said my point.
We'll go on a break. When we come back, we'll analyze what Mr. Sampson just said.
Yes,
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So before the break, Samson was telling us about, reminding us of Abraham and Sarah. And a lot of people have brought up this Abraham-Sarah argument. And people have said that, did Mary call Joseph Lord? They also said that how many people in the Bible actually call their husbands Lord? And they also reminded us that the age gap between Abraham and Sarah was quite huge. And if you compare that to today, there are lots of men, maybe men in their 60s, marrying 20 years old, or men in their 70s marrying maybe 30-year-olds. And those ones practically call their husbands daddy. Because, hey, he is daddy. He's your grandpa, but he has married you. So it's that way of showing respect. It's not so much like a master-slave relationship. It's more of a regard that you're saying, our daddy. He's your husband, but he's your daddy. In those days, too, he's your Lord. So should we compare that to what Pastor Chris is saying as regards he's your master? Not so much your Lord, according to what
I wouldn't want us to take Pastor Chris's words literally. Okay? Because, like that caller rightly said, these are spiritual things. A Christian is guided by the Bible. So Pastor was preaching according to the Bible, and what he means or what he meant was women should respect their husband. I was listening to Miles Monroe one time before he died, and he said that men interpret love as respect. That's why the scripture commanded you to submit to them and commanded them to love you. So when you give your husband respect, he sees it as love and he will do anything for you. So he was talking about respect, not necessarily calling you master or kneeling down. But of course, they will have a scriptural backing, which says that's 1 Peter 3:6, where they refer to Sarah. Hold on. Sarah as calling the husband Lord. It will only be misleading if you are taking the word verbatim the way it's in the scriptures. Scriptures have been explained in modern terms. Remember that this scripture was written how many thousand years ago?
Shola has been holding for a while. Shola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
And good morning to the ladies in the studio.
Good morning.
Yeah, please, I want to contribute to the two topics this
Go
morning.
ahead.
I'm very, very pleased about it. The first one is we are fighting corruption in Nigeria. And examination malpractice is corruption. So they have to face the consequence that is due to all the ones that participated in the corruption in the examination practice. An instruction was given that phone should not bring to the examination hall. And the body, let us face the consequence. Number two, in the Bible, so many people in the Bible call Jesus Christ Master.
Yes.
And the Bible made us to understand that it said, as Jesus Christ is the head of the church, so is the husband the head of the wife and the house.
Yes.
That is my contribution.
Thank you, sir.
So I wanted to ask Obiajulu, is Sarah the only woman in the Bible?
No.
Thankfully not. So it brings the point to her relationship with her husband. It's peculiar per person. And I will hate that because Samson was pushing the advocacy. That's the way women see it. If you continue to see it like that, some women nowadays have more masculine genes than women. Than men. So they kind of tend to think like men. Some women would submit to you from a place of love. They would do this thing loving you and they would never complain for years. But the moment they sense an abuse, that you're trying to subdue them, they will stand up. So let's not take it for granted. Let's not misplace priorities at all. You will find a situation where men come into the house, demanding certain rights and not paying attention. We talked about it yesterday. Some people don't pay attention. And for years, some women will just be there. You mentioned the woman who is 20 years behind and the husband is in present. Because she might have been trying to talk about a particular thing he's been doing wrong and she didn't get that attention. Let's not misunderstand it. And number two is that Oya Kilome wasn't preaching spirituality there. Yes. If that video, hold on a minute. Let me if that video was as old as I thought it was, he was talking to his wife, his divorce, his ex-wife. I agree. He was talking to his ex-wife. He said we'll be meeting. You are talking to your husband.
You cannot say that.
That's your own opinion.
You cannot say that. That's your own opinion.
Let's take this call that comes to
Okay.
We're not talking to you people now.
Hello, hello, morning. Are you there?
Good morning.
Go ahead, please. You're live.
Yeah, I'm talking about the first aspect of what you said this morning about examination malpractice.
Right.
Yeah, I think Nigeria should change the educational system because I think it's like depriving the students of their joy and what they love doing. Because you can't expect a child to take about 13 courses and you're giving them examination and in a week you have to write about 5 examination papers. Who does that? And it's very wrong for, you should not set an examination for a child that 30 minutes is going to decide the future or 1 hour after spending about like 3 months straight in school, learning, doing some tests and some other things, assignments, putting them together, and the examination is just going to cost 50 marks. So how will an hour decide the future of a student? That's the problem we are facing here.
Yes, you're
And
right.
they should have opportunity to revise that examination if they fail it.
All right.
You understand? So we need to change our educational system.
Thank you very much, Francis,
Thank
for
you.
your views.
That's right.
Yes, Honeypot, you're going to say something.
Okay, so people have been talking about, dwelling on the fact that, Sarah called Lord, and people would always go to the Old Testament when they need, and then come to the New Testament so they pick it the way they want. So I think that it does not really matter whether it is Lord, baby, honey, sugar that you call your husband. The main thing is respect here. It does not matter. So if you're going to dwell on that thing, it is only Sarah. Is Sarah the only woman in the Bible? Did another person call the husband Lord? It is about...
Agree. So don't tell me to call him master.
It brings me back to
So
the
don't
same
say-
point.
so,
Morayo, you have
Don't
to bear
take
this
it
thing.
out literally. That's not
Morayo
how
asked
it's
a
meant.
question when
It's
we were
talking
on
about
break.
respect.
Do you kneel down for your husbands? And I answered, we dey kneel down every day. He said, kneel down is a hobby.
Yeah, that's you.
Kneeling down is a hobby.
That's you.
That's
I
you.
don't know that. My husband doesn't like kneeling
I'm
down.
just saying to you that women are willing to respect and stay in their marriages if the love is reciprocated adequately. When you continue to see a person as a junior, as a submission, as a clinical, before you know it, you take it out of points.
Right.
You think you're talking to your mate. You forget that you're talking to your partner. And this person is an adult, a complete adult that can think for themselves, that willingly walked into a relationship with you for life.
Exactly.
Please don't mistake it.
That's a thin line we're trying to ensure
will not
people
cross
don't
it.
cross. I'll come to you, Biagi. Let me take Gabriel. Gabriel, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, I actually have a problem with our system here in Nigeria. Let me talk about the
First
topic,
Okay.
talking about the examination malpractice. The truth remains that sometimes you see the Nigeria Custom Agency, they'll tell you that, okay, this car, it's not properly cleared from the port, and you're driving your car, they cross you, and they seize the car. And people from the port, the customs from the port didn't do their due diligence. You said you want to set examination for people, they should not come in with their phones and everything. Why can't you check them before they get into the examination or collect their phones from them? I don't get it in Nigeria how we do things. And these people walk into the examination hall, you didn't check them whatsoever. It means they can go in with their textbook and every other thing. And by the time they are writing, that's when you decide to collect the funds from them and phone.
Will they burn a textbook?
Right. And the second one I want to actually talk about is the master relationship thing. I think it's not about what you call your husband. We've seen people call their husband Olowo Rimi.
Thank you, Olowo Rimi. I lay nobody.
And so on and so forth.
Yes.
I think respect is inbuilt.
Yeah.
Once you respect your husband, you respect him irrespective of the name. My
Exactly.
wife came with my name, but she respects me so much. And I know that she respects me.
Exactly.
So we should remove the master thing.
Thank you, Gabriel. I think that makes sense. We can actually end on that because I was going to go back to the point you heard earlier, going back to this issue of the cup.
Explain to us.
When you said that, you would just keep quiet. Now, because you know their spouse.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important that every woman, every man know your spouse. Because there's some men that want their wife, no matter what, how wrong I am. Because everybody is against me, you at least be on my side. Especially in public. Everybody was saying, no, it is black. And because my husband is saying it is red, you as a wife say, okay, at home, uncle.
How can you
But that was not a red.
What if it's too late?
And that is in the house. You guys can
have
flash
code
it.
language.
But but you see, understand who you're talking to.
Yes.
But in your own situation, you only just keep quiet.
I'll just keep quiet.
And not say anything.
That keeping quiet
Some people might read that. Yes, keeping quiet.
So your husband knows you
might
don't agree.
I don't agree.
Or you're quiet.
Marriages are different.
And your friends might also know your wife doesn't agree. And your husband will not like the fact that you are showing by your silence that you don't agree.
Yes.
So know thy spouse.
That's spice.
Spouse. Know that.
And I wanted to say that just to round up everything, respect is the main thing here. So whether you call master, whether you call, I have a family member who calls the husband Olowo Rimi and everything, and would attack him in public and insult him. I've been calling my husband baby from the beginning of the world till now. When my husband is shouting, I keep quiet. quiet. You know,
Okay,
so
let's
I
round
just
up on them.
use that
All right,
as
so
a way of
please
respect.
leave Pastor Chris Oyakilome alone and go and face your own husband or your own wife. Okay, that's going to break. When we come back, unfortunately, again, our guest cancelled, so we'll find another just to talk about.
Yeah.
Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. Do we have any tweets on the last topic?
Yes, we do.
Go ahead.
So Sam BB Niger says, the meaning of the word husband means master in Hebrew. So for ladies, marriage is not for everyone. Everything he said was biblical, except if you're not a Christian. Tosiomo Ajayi says, I'm sure Nima calls her husband Oga. What is the interpretation of master? Andre in Streatham says, I could see the bubble thoughts emanating from Mo's head when Alagba Samson spoke his own. I could see her thoughts saying Yoruba, Tielo Soye. Or what are you saying?
Okay, so
now your own
says,
you they talk.
Just keep
Nima,
don't mind that.
Sukami says Nima is absolutely wrong for her to say that he's not preaching spirituality at the moment. You only see 3 to 5 minutes clip and conclude. Well, I said what happened, the video didn't just happen. You don't guess it, Udo said. Subjectively setting those cell phones, that was on the last topic.
I totally agreed with Pastor because husband is the head of the family, just as Jesus Christ is the head of the church.
Koloflo says the definition of master is someone who has control over something or someone. Therefore, if as a woman, you see yourself as being equal with your husband or your lower.
All right. Okay, let's move on. So what advice do you have for a lady who reduced her age to get a job just to discover that the company wants someone with her real age?
Oh!
Do not forget that some Nigerians actually make use of their football age to get jobs and contracts. Should this be encouraged? Obviously not, but you can join the conversation 070-806-68014. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweet. I remember somebody's burial, an older man that died, and the family was debating which age should they put in the obituary. Is it the right age or the
football age?
The football age or the which? I mean, in fact, they were now confused because the family knew the man as one age. His colleagues knew another age, and generally there was like 3 ages. They were not wondering which one are we going to put. They now ended up putting the age, the middle one. They didn't put the one the official age.
Okay.
They put the middle age, and they didn't put the real one. So family members go, Baba, he's almost 80. And the colleagues are like, no, Baba is not this old.
They made a mistake.
So it was just a confused situation. But in this scenario that was painted, what are your thoughts? Why do people actually change ages? I mean, for me, it was fairly new to me. I mean, I have never in my life experienced that situation just until I met a few people saying, they actually change ages. I'm like, is that true? And then I'm finding that it's actually very common.
Yeah.
How? Why?
So some people even have more than one birth certificate, and they've been doing it since time immemorial. Now, there are so many reasons for it. So it is considered socially acceptable. But then when you now take this lie into other things, it's considered graceless. So I don't, well, okay. So I think that it does not really come from or always come from the negative parts, like negative experience. Sometimes it's about job, it's about, people looking for a certain age and then you're not of that age and to get it. So somebody said that she had been putting her real age and at some point she had to tweak her CV. So she brought down some of the, the schools she attended so that they would not know. And then she had to, and she got like 4 jobs straight up.
Wow.
And she felt, so this has been the problem. This is what you're looking for. But in the case of a particular girl who changed her age, and at the end of the day, it was the age, her real age they were looking for.
Hey.
So like out of like some 10, 9 would always bite you in the neck. So, and then, I mean, when you look at companies so many times, they're saying that you might have like a focus, you're focusing on youth. And you are 40, for instance, and then they're wondering, how would you create a content for their target audience, which might be around 18 to 30. And then, I mean, at that point, you're in a fix.
Let me come to you.
I just think it's a Nigerian thing, like we go to school and the strike strikes us so bad that a course of like 4 years, you spend like 7 years, 8 years and come out. You serve at the end of the day. And before you get into employment, yes, your age has gone up. And then we have banks now saying you have to be 22, you have to be 23 max for them to take you. So because of school has delayed you, you are now 26, 27. When you come out, you now have to start reducing your age. So I think it's about the society. And some parents too.
So don't blame the people that are changing their ages.
See, the way the society is, I don't. We have schools to where, we have parents to where they want to put their child in a particular, somebody was giving me that advice. So I want my daughter to go to a British school. My daughter is 10. They don't take you for GSS1, that's year 7. When you're 10, you have to be 11. So somebody was advising me to increase her age. She's even big. She looks like 12, 13 already. Increase her age so that she can get into the school. I said, no, I'm not rushing this girl. Where is she rushing to? She has to do year 6. So even after she graduates from her school now, she's not getting into JSS1. She'll go to the British school and do year 6 because she has not reached that age. But a lot of people fall into that trap. I want her to get into school. I want her to finish on time and reduce the age. At the end of the day, they have to increase the age
I have
again.
a call. One Mary from Kaduna. Morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, Mariah.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
And it is my first time calling.
Welcome to the show.
All right, permit me to just, within seconds, touch on the entire...
it's your view, let it count. Go ahead.
Okay, beginning with the last one now, I think it's unfortunate that nearly everything in Kaduna today is, in Nigeria, sorry, I'm too used to Kaduna. Nearly everything in Nigeria is tied down to the corruption of this age thing. People going for youth service is the issue of age. I'm in school right now. I'm closing to my 40, and you know that people advise me to have reduced my age before going back to school.
Wow.
And I told them I don't see any reason why I should be able to live my life the way it is. And I don't see any reason why my age should be a limitation. But unfortunately, the system in Nigeria, in companies and all that, the expectation is that you should have your master's while you are still 18 years. And because many people are desperate to get jobs, they will have to go at length to do anything. The first topic on the issue of the exam malpractice, I'm really surprised that from all the contributions of everybody, nobody is really dwelling on hammering on these students that had decided to still go. They didn't tell us that it was inside the exam hall that the school decide to bring up the law. Why are we not talking about why should students continue to disobey rules? It's not about the consequence. We are just focusing on the burning of the phone. But I'm not worried that we have come to a stage where students will never obey simple instructions in school. And because they know that when consequences like this are being spelled on them, people like us will come up and focus more on the treatment given to them instead of focusing on why would they do that in the first place.
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution.
Maybe if the conversation was around why did they bring their phone, why did they seize their phone, then we can be having a conversation about why they were disobedient. We're talking about after everything had been said and done, what did they do with the seized phone? So we can't encourage a wasteful education system as well. But on this topic of age reduction, this is how I believe corruption was institutionalized in this country. When we started doing age reduction and believing on certificates so much, people will go to Polytechnic and get an upper credit, and it will not matter because they went to Polytechnic, it's not a university. Somebody will finish school when school was supposed to finish because our education system had been bastardized. They did 8 years for a 6 years course, and they're falling out of age. And then they have to lie and even have a certificate to back it up. So people will go do a declaration at the court. This is an affidavit, something you put on oath. People will do it and carry the falsity of that thing to an institution and claim to be that age. I was once made to do an age declaration to get into a particular course that required I was 21, and I was about 18 when I went in for the course. And I was wondering why. Till date, I've insisted on using my real birth date and everything for every other thing I've applied for because of that particular thing that happened when I was 18. I was wondering why. Why did this system allow this thing turn to norm? Society. Because a lot of people were doing it. Super Eagles age was a normal thing. Even our own Super Eagles were encouraging them to go to competitions when they were above the age and go for under 16, under 20 competitions when they were above the age. We've institutionalized corruption.
Let me take this call. Ola, are you there?
Good morning.
Morning. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I want to talk on the first issue, that is the phone.
This malpractice is pretty hot. Go ahead.
All right. I think some of the callers that called earlier have really said a lot of things, but then I want to point out something. The students have committed a crime. The phones have been filled from them. I think destroying them was actually very, very wrong. It's even more than what the students actually did. Because looking at it from the other angle, if I was driving and then my car is seized, maybe I disobeyed traffic rules, and my car is seized by the traffic officer, do my cars get burnt for the offense I've committed? It should have been a system whereby, okay, the student cannot come and bill their phone at a particular amount, which should have been helpful for the school as well. And then a student that billed the phone of 50,000 with like 10,000, I will know that next time I don't have to bring this phone inside. Now, I wouldn't also blame students at times for bringing their phones in, because as a student when I was in school, there were times we were told not to bring our phones in, and then we have to drop it outside in our bag.
They were stolen.
After writing your papers, you come outside, you can't even locate, you can't even find the bag.
The house.
They're stolen.
Right. Thank you very much, Ola. So I think we all agree on this issue of the exam malpractice, that it is wrong for them to do. We all agree. Yeah. But I think what we're asking the schools to do is engage in proper disciplinary action. Okay. You don't necessarily have to burn it. Okay. There are ways of disposing of these phones, not necessarily burn it. So I think we've all agreed pretty much on that.
If you must. Yeah. Should we just quickly add that students should learn to obey rules? And it starts from the house. Your children should obey your rules. When you set rules, they should follow it. Don't come and tell me how I should chastise you afterwards. Let's focus on obeying rules.
Right. All right, so children should obey rules, I agree. But then why don't we just look at it from another angle? How about examining our education system? I mean, how about thinking maybe these children, the way they are being taught, or the students, how they are being taught right now is not the right way. They're not getting some things, and that is why they would cram and they would think that we don't still get everything, and then they will still bring stuff to the examination. Why don't we just get to the roots and tackle the problem?
Yes, we're talking about that as well.
Holistically.
Yeah.
So let's go, I think, on a final break, I believe. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So let's take a few more tweets. Do we have any?
Babajide says, Pastor Chris was on point. Open your mind to those words he said and listen to the end before your opinion. Fagbenro Latunde says, Nima should just go ahead with her point and not judge the pastor.
Somi Odelano says, foreigners listening to this topic will understand how fantastically corrupt Nigeria is. The way we have different ages, which equates to multi-identities. And Kingsley Omenazo says, that's the problem with the modern-day ladies. During traditional wedding or at wedding reception, they kneel down to feed their husbands and serve them food. After the ceremony, they now remember that they are not supposed to kneel looking for rice. Well, I didn't kneel for my husband to feed him.
Yeah, okay, so we had an intern who just popped in for 2 seconds and told us that she actually attended the Polytechnic in Oyo State, and they always make it very clear in Ibadan, saying that don't bring your phones into the classrooms and even to the exam halls, that people actually come in and hide, that somebody actually recorded the answers, hid it somewhere and just kept it.
In fact, she was wearing the hijab, so let's just say it. She was wearing the hijab and she put the earpiece on, and she has recorded the lecture notes and was listening to it as she was writing the exam.
So we can understand why the lecturers were frustrated. So we are not against you seizing. Search them well. According to her, they search you too much. You say it's sexual harassment. So I can understand the lecturer's plight. However, when you seize it, don't destroy it. That's the point.
My institution. I choose to destroy it so that next time you will hear what.
Then we'll leave your institution for you.
Only
your family members are taking
Peter Onoche says, what is yours will be yours. Even if I am scared, I'm 26, currently doing my youth service at Abia State, studied banking and finance. However, you and I know bank requires 23, 25 for employment. I'm scared though, but I'm just hopeful. Not going to try reducing my age.
Okay, there was one more topic we're supposed to talk about, but we don't have time for it. But let me just try to slide it in. The First Lady of Ekiti State, my husband's state, or my state said, Mrs. Bisi Fayemi said, and she actually frowned at the practice of expelling pregnant schoolgirls while allowing the boys that impregnated them scot-free. According to her, pregnant girls face all kinds of punishment, including discriminating practices that deny them their right to education. What are your own general thoughts on this? We don't have a lot of time, but let me just hear your views. Do you think it's appropriate for, I mean, we hear it all the time, the girl who got pregnant gets expelled. Yeah. But the boy that impregnated her, we never hear anything about him.
Okay. So it works more in a mixed school. You know, we had that discussion.
That's if the father did.
Yes, if the boy who impregnated the girl is in the same school. So you don't expel only the girl, you should expel the boy as well. But what if it's a girls' school and probably it's a security man from another place that did that? Who do you expel? Now, the security man is not a student.
Not a student, yeah.
Yes. But if he's a student, the boy should be expelled as well.
I agree that it's discriminatory to deal with only the girl and leave the boy because it's a two-can-do kind of bad thing. So find the boy. But in a situation where the girl is in a separate school, for instance, and maybe the boyfriend is in another school, you have to deal with the situation.
So my question to you now,
you have to deal
are
with
you
it.
saying that a boy in a boys' school, there's a girl in a girls' school, she gets expelled, we know. Now, are you saying that you as a parent will go and report, you're the girl's parent, you go and report to the boys' school.
Wow.
But this boy impregnated my daughter.
Yes.
And you're not telling the principal to expel him.
Before.
Yeah, what you do in another school.
Yes.
If I can establish it that boy
is responsible,
did something he shouldn't do in another school and they don't do something, I will follow it up more than that.
Yes, I truly agree with Nima. So if the boy is in another school, you should go report.
The principal should be
very good. And the principal will say, sorry, I'm not aware of this. I don't know the girls.
Then I will follow it because they have to face the consequences together. Yes. You are in it together. It takes two to tango at the end of the day.
She didn't impregnate herself.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You agree?
We'll go to that school before. We'll go to that school and fish you out.
Because that boy in that school will continue to promote those non-values and vices that he has. Whether or not the girl happened to be in the same school as him, that's his belief. He moves on to another girl. If you curb it on, that's the principal of the boys' school who did not catch him.
On this table this week, we all discussed something similar. And we said that it's not good to throw the baby in the bathwater. That none should be expelled in the first place. That we should rehabilitate.
No,
we agreed now.
No, she was not there. So she should have the child carry pregnancy with uniform.
Encourage other people to see it as normal.
After she delivers the baby, can she come back to school?
Yes, of course.
Yes, if I'm the principal of the school, they have to change
fact,
their
it's a name and shame
Are
situation.
you for real?
No, she can come back to school.
The parents of the girl usually, out of shame, you have spoiled our face in that school, usually change their daughter's school. But I think what is deterring enough is that when the girl finally wants to
goes back to that school.
She goes back to that school, I may look at her and see that she has faced the consequences.
My question therefore to you, Nima,
so they can make better choices.
If the pregnant girl gets an opportunity to go back to school, how about the boy you expelled in that school? What happened to him? That boy you expelled. So you'll be pregnant. So during the pregnancy period.
The school cause consequences is his fate.
No, understand. That's why you destroyed the boy's life.
Destroy? Excuse me.
Okay, I'm getting what she's saying.
Hear me.
Hold on.
Girl got pregnant. You expelled her because after 8 months, or is it 9 months?
9 months.
You bring her back.
She'll come back to school, yes.
Now that you are insisting that the boy that impregnated her too should be expelled.
Yes.
So what happens to you after 9 months?
You still bring him back to school
after 9 months.
He goes back to school after 9 months.
Yes.
All his mates know why he went home for 9 months of
Yes, it is discipline.
He went to do Baba Baby. That's what we're talking about. If you want to do Baba Baby,
paternity leave.
you want for paternity leave. If you know you want to do what your parents are doing, you face the consequences. That's when I see.
What is sauce for the Ghana is sauce for the goose. So let it just be like that.
On that note, we can end the show. Have a fabulous weekend. We'll see you Monday. Bye-bye.